Season opener, whoop-de-doo, 30-point loss. Let's get into the film room. Look, there's no question that Scottie Barnes struggled tonight. I thought he was oftentimes a little indecisive. Especially when he got a mismatch in the post, it just felt like he settled a couple of times early on in the game. And that hesitancy kind of built up throughout. I really think some of the length of the Cavaliers, especially Evan Mobley, really deterred his aggressiveness in the paint. You can see even here once he gets the matchup of Donovan Mitchell, which he should be comfortable taking one-on-one. Mitchell does a good job here, but I think part of the fact that he's a little hesitant is the backline defense of Mobley. But I will say it's not all Scottie here. I think there were possessions where he did get the mismatch in the post and could have had an opportunity, but his teammates just didn't enter the ball into him in the post. And so you look at this one, and it's a very clear possession of get Scottie the ball. But there were a lot of ill-advised looks, including this one here where he settles into a mid-range jump shot over Jared Allen. Gets the rebound, though, but still, it's not the shot that you want. This was a really sporadic possession, so he does a great job of attacking the closeout here. Good pass to Jakob. Jakob misses it, tries to find Gradey Dick in the corner. Scottie jumps the pass, and now the Raptors are in a bit of a broken play. He wants to go one-on-one against Mobley, and it just wasn't a good idea, to be honest with you. Evan Mobley had a dominant game. He was incredible defensively, and part of that was locking down Scottie like he did on this possession. Another possession here where Scottie was just bothered by the length of both Mobley and Allen. Great defense there. And again, it's this hesitancy, right? It's like not being as aggressive as he usually is because of that length and size. Levi's passes too. Here he is. He gets trapped on the pick and roll. Mobley's size again forces him to throw a bad pass. And so Scottie struggled tonight. There's no question about that. He's still going to be an all-star level player. He's still going to be a guy who's going to contend for all NBA. None of that is being in question here. You know what I mean? One thing we can set straight for my shows is I'm not necessarily going to overreact like that. Scottie had a bad game, okay? Admittedly. And he said it himself. They got an ass whooping, right? Why he got a bad game, I think, is important to contextualize. I think the Cavaliers, for the last 3 seasons, have been one of the best interior defenses in the entire NBA. A lot of that was Jared Allen and Evan Mobley. I thought he had a tough time working through the matchup that was Jared Allen and Evan Mobley, working through how to attack that offensively. And the scheme that the Cavs were running against Scottie really deterred him from being able to get to what he wanted to, which was, hey, let me settle into this jumper. Oh, it's over the outstretched arm of Jared Allen. Hey, let me get into this jumper. Oh, Evan Mobley is bodying me up. I can't really get to where I want to. I thought the guards, when they switched up, you saw Donovan Mitchell had that swipe. They did a good job of being active on the ball when Scottie got that switch. And so it was a good game from the Cavs defensively, truthfully. Now, the way that you can frame this for Scottie is even in moments where, and even in matchups where he's being game planned against, like he is here, in a matchup that I think is tough for him size-wise, right? Because he's such a guy who uses his physicality to overpower players. It's tougher to do it against a big team like the Cavs. You have to see, all right, how can Scottie problem solve in these moments? He's had good games against the Cavs before. How can he get back to that? What was missing in tonight's game that he could have gotten before? I think part of it was that hesitancy, not making plays, not moving off the ball quicker, going into ISO a lot quicker than you would have hoped. I think there were just some moments where he could have been used as a screener or being used off of the ball, roaming and getting Jakob Poeltl to be the guy who's initiating in the high post. So there's a couple of things that, kind of pop out for me when it comes to Scottie, but ultimately, like, game 1, you got to chalk it up. That's it. Wins and lessons, ladies and gentlemen. Wins and lessons. One of the lessons I think they had was that Gradey Dick was superb. Absolutely excellent game tonight. And let's break that down in the film room as well. So Gradey had some really positive moments, settling into mid-range shots like he did all of preseason. Did a great job of attacking closeouts, using his shooting gravity to get that hard closeout and draw a foul. I love how he lifts up here as the pick and roll is happening. Nice little pump. And above the break 3. Again, I think he did a really good job of attacking closeouts. And the reason they were closing out like this was because of the threat of his three-point shot. So you think back to the schematic stuff that the Cavs were running to limit the paint for the Raptors, especially with Scottie Barnes. That doesn't happen for a shooter like Gradey Dick, who can force them to close out much further away. So you see Gradey attacks. Incredible finesse finish, by the way. Just that is absurd stuff. He's done that before, the little scoop and finish. I would love to ask him about that. That's really awesome work. Thought he was pretty good defensively too. He gets beat here by the quicker Darius Garland, but doesn't give up on the possession and gets the block. Here he is, quick DHO, rising up again and above the break three. That's a great sign for the Raptors offense that he can stretch the floor from there. I also like some of the initiating once the game was over, so they just went high pick and roll between Jakob and Gradey, and he gets downhill pretty easily. Misses on that, but good job finishing the play and finishing with an offensive rebound. Again, some good activity defensively from Gradey. Switches out onto Mobley, good ball pressure, then switches out to Niang, great ball pressure, and then tips it, gets the block there. Again, pretty intrigued by some of these on-ball reps, just his ability, pick and roll, settles into a pull-up jump shot. I'm intrigued by that stuff. Like, look, if we're here for wins and lessons and for development, and it's a 30-point game and Gradey gets some opportunities to run pick and rolls and work on his pull-up jumper, like that's excellent work. Why not? Let's see what we can get. And as far as seeing what we could get, I thought we saw some good stuff from Jamal Shead defensively. Hit a three, was active on the defensive end as he usually is, but he had some great possessions where he settled into a floater or settled into a layup, and a nice little dribble drive that he had. Jamal was good. I think he deserves a rotation spot at this point. I think it'll be really tough to consider having him both in the 905 and with the Raptors, especially with the injuries that the Raptors are dealing with. And this is something I wanted to mention. The Raptors starters played pretty well to start this game. They won their minutes to initially start this game, and then they went with the Scottie plus bench lineup that got absolutely decimated in about 5 minutes. I think they went on a 19-4 run in those minutes. The Cavaliers went on a 19-4 run, and at that point it was over. The Cavs were already up like 10 or 11. Raptors offense wasn't in motion. They desperately missed RJ Barrett, and obviously Emmanuel quickly got injured as well. And so we'll see what happens with him. Apparently it was just for precautionary reasons, especially with it being a pelvic or hip situation. You want to be as careful with that type of stuff as possible. I hope he's okay, and I hope you see an extended period. You get him earlier than you'd hope, because ultimately, man, like, the offense of this team will be extremely rough without him or RJ for an extended period of time. We've seen that before, like we saw last year, right? So I'm hoping that it's nothing serious for Emmanuel quickly, because boy, did they need him. And he was good in the minutes that he played early in that first half. I thought he was great. Again, stretching the floor, right? Like, when you're playing a team like the Cavaliers that want to wall off the paint, once you get those shooters and IQ and Gradey to stretch things out for you, then that allows Scottie to initiate. Then that allows RJ to initiate. Then that allows Jakob and whatnot to really get things going on the inside. The Raptors just didn't have that tonight. And so that's the game for the most part, y'all. Some good fourth quarter minutes for Jonathan Mobo. Ulrich Shamshi hit a layup. Jamison Battle got 16 minutes. This is welcome to development. That's the way I would put it, because look, it's probably going to be a long season in terms of the actual wins and loss record. I would implore you guys to not necessarily look at that, and maybe look at some of the things that the Raptors are actively trying to do with their players. It does make it easier when your star player plays well, and I think that's why this one kind of sucks, because Scottie didn't play that well in this. But hey, you got 81 more to go. That's the beauty of NBA basketball. Folks, as always, subscribe to the Raptors Republic YouTube channel if you guys can. We appreciate y'all. Like this video so it gets to more people. And I will see you guys on Friday, actually. We got more Raptors basketball, baby. 81 more to go. Peace.